Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. समस्त वैष्णववृंद की जय. नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर जी की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. Good morning, dear devotees. This is Shivani from Ashram, Virginia. Please forgive me for stopping in beautiful chanting. I welcome you all Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call for this mid-morning session. Let us move to the next part of the session. Today's topic is going to be on Madhurya Kadambini, session 7, which will be given by her Grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji. May I know who have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. This is Preeti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you Mataji for your warm welcome.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining, giving a beautiful association. All glories to your sevas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Go ahead Mataji.
Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandvat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati, and very, very nice, beautiful chanting Mataji, Preeti Vilasni Mataji from chapter 8.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining and giving a beautiful association and for beautiful chanting every day. All glories to your services.
Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Kiran Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shivani Mataji. Dandot pranams to all the devotees here. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna Sumi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining, giving a beautiful association. Even though it's so late in India, welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is Kalyani from Hyderabad. Thank you Mataji.
Hare Krishna Kalyani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining and giving a beautiful association. Even though it's so late in India, are you joining for the first time Mataji?
No Mataji.
Okay, great to have your association. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Thank you Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna dear devotees, once again I welcome you all to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call for this mid-morning session. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. Today 15th March, now it's 7:35 gone. As soon as it is 7:36, you cannot bring back that 15th March evening. 7:35 again. Even if you pay millions of dollars, please come back again. No, finished. Janakya Pandita says, time is so valuable that if you pay millions of golden coins, you cannot get back even a moment. What is lost for good. If you such valuable time spoil for nothing without any profit, just imagine how much you are losing, how greatly you are a loser. San Francisco, March 15, 1968. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Good morning, dear devotees. Welcome you all to Bhakti Sanga Java conference call for this mid-morning session. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Mataji will be enlightening us on the topic of Madhurya Kadambini, session 7. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Thank you for giving us your valuable time and wonderful association this morning. Eagerly waiting to hear from you, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Please take over the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji. Thank you so much for your very, very kind association and warmly welcoming everybody. Thank you, everyone, for your wonderful association. Thank you for your presence that also enthuses us also. So thank you so much. So we will start with our invocation prayers and then we will move forward. Let me see if we can start sharing. Well, let's start first the invocation prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchatattvatakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavtaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Anand Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Badivya Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishna Krishnaya Bhakta Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam karoti vācālam pangum langāyate girim yatkripātam ham vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So thank you again, all of you, for your very, very kind association. Please shower your heartfelt prayers, blessings, so that we can understand this subject matter of Madhurya Kadambini, which is most confidential, in a very, very clear manner. I may be able to speak something relevant, which can strengthen the faith in all of you who are hearing this session. So please bless me. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. So we'll recite the Mangalacharan verse for Madhurya Kadambini, and then we'll move forward. Ridva prenava bhakti shasya vitate sanjeevani swagama Rambe kamata partudah damani Vishwapagolasini Duran me marushakino pisarasi Bhavaya bhuyat prabhu Shri Chaitanya Kripanirakusha Madhurya Kadambini. Anybody wants to recite?
Shall I?
Yeah,
Oh,
please go.
Vasundhara Mataji raised her hand.
Okay, Vasundhara Mataji, please go ahead.
If anyone wants to do, it's okay, Mataji. I've done once. If someone has to do, please give them the opportunity. It's okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Ridva prenava bhakti shasya vitate sanjeevani swagama Rambhe kamata parutapardudahadamani Vishwapagolasini Duranme marushakinopi sarasi Bhavaya bhuyat prabhu Sri Chaitanya Kripanirakusha Madhurya Kadambini.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so we have covered the first shower definitely, but in the second shower also, we have covered a few points. So we'll quickly go through and then we'll continue with our today's thing. So in the first shower, the preeminence or the independent nature of bhakti was established. And then in the second shower, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur brings up the point that how the seed of bhakti then starts sprouting in the heart of a devotee. How the seed is being given by the mercy of the spiritual master, by the mercy of sadhu, and then that seed is nurtured by the devotee through chanting and hearing, and then the two leaves sprout simultaneously. And those two leaves that sprout from bhakti seed, which is also known as creeper. Bhakti is also known as creeper. Bhakti is not in the form of a tree, but it is always in a form of a lata. That bhakti, when the two leaves sprout simultaneously, that is kleshagni and shubhada. Kleshagni means it removes all the kleshas, all the miseries, all the sufferings, and it gives all the auspiciousness. Then we discussed about Shuddha Bhakti and Sadhana Bhakti. So in Shuddha Bhakti, we mentioned that there are some features where the sadhaka does everything for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, for the pleasure of Krishna. In Sadhana Bhakti, there are processes. First is Vaidhi Bhakti, following the rules and regulations. And then we saw Raganuga-Bhakti, which is spontaneous love and attraction towards the Supreme Lord. After that, we saw that how there are different types of kleshas. And all those kleshas are removed when one step in the process of bhakti. And we saw there are a lot of kleshas and we saw kleshas like avidya, asmita, then we saw raga, dvesha, and abhinvesha. So this way there were 5 types of kleshas. And then we also saw that there are sources of the kleshas that causes these kleshas. Of course, that avidya is there, but then we have a prarabdha, kutam, and bija. And everything gets destroyed by this process of bhakti, by devoting ourselves at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. After that, how we saw that through this process of bhakti, shubhadha comes, means the auspiciousness. Shubh means auspiciousness, da means the bestower. This bhakti becomes the bestower of all auspiciousness. And then the question came that whether miseries are mitigated first or the auspiciousness is bestowed first. But then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that these two happens simultaneously. An example was given from Srimad Bhagavatam that just how when a hungry person eats food, and as soon as he takes the first morsel, it gives all. It gives tushti, it gives pushti, and it also reduces hunger. Shuddhapaya, right? So all these 3 things happen simultaneously and keeps on increasing as the person start taking one morsel after another. So this way it was concluded. And now we will see the further section of Madhurya Kadambini's second shower, which we are in. And there now he is telling, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wants to bring up the point because he is delineating the process. He is delineating the process of bhakti. Like it starts with ado shraddha, tata sadhu sanga, tata bhajana kriya, and then it ends with prema. So now we will start with the real process that bhakti has, that is shraddha. Okay, let me share my screen. So we are still in the second shower. And this is the awakening of Shraddha, that is awakening of faith. Now we have to be very, very clear that what here faith means. Here faith means not the initial faith that a sadhaka has. Okay? Like we go for a book distribution or we go for Nam Sankirtan, then devotees are attracted to it. Devotees are attracted to Nam or seeing other devotees, or devotees are attracted to seeing the books of Srila Prabhupada. They have some faith that, okay, when we say, oh, you please take these books, keeping Srimad Bhagavatam at home, keeping Chaitanya Charitamrita at home gives you all auspiciousness. They believe us. And we are also not saying false. It's true only. But they have certain little amount of faith in our words. They have the faith when we tell them, please chant the holy name. Come to the temple, come for Sunday feast, come for Friday Bhakti Riksha programs. We invite them, right? And when they come, they have come because they have initial faith. And when they come, they start liking it. And even if they don't like, if they start coming, keep on coming, maybe because of any reason, maybe they like prasadam, maybe they want to spend nice time on the weekend, maybe they are very social and they want to associate with the people, whatever the reason may be. But if they become consistent in their presence, then what happens? Slowly and gradually, they start developing taste. Okay. So that faith is an initial faith. But what here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is delineating this process when it starts with Ado Shraddha, he means firm faith, not the initial faith, but Shraddha. So when a devotee keep on started coming to Bhakti Riksha programs, to Sunday feast, for all the other events that is happening because of the temple, then what happened? they start developing firm faith. Means the initial faith they had is now strengthening up by the association of devotees. Now their faith is getting strengthening. And this faith, when strengthens, becomes Shraddha. Shraddha in what? Shraddha in scriptures. Because after all, when they are coming and attending all these Bhakti Riksha programs, they are reading what? They are reading Shastras. They are reading Bhagavad Gita, where every verse is discussed. And they have so many questions. They ask and they get answer to it and they become satisfied. So the initial faith they have while they were taking the book of Bhagavad Gita, now gets strengthened because they have started studying in the association of devotees and their doubts are getting cleared up. Okay. So this process where the firm faith in the purport of the scriptures is developed is known as what is Shraddha, means the firm faith. Now, Shraddha is very, very important. It's very important in this process of attaining bhakti, starting from Shraddha, going up to Prema. Shraddha is the foundational step of this entire process of bhakti. It's the first step to enter into the temple of bhakti. Like the example is being given that if somebody wants to build a big skyscraper, then the foundation has to be very, very strong. If the foundation is not strong, the entire building will collapse. Similarly, now having that firm faith, having that first initial faith, and then our presence in the temple and all the programs, now what we are doing, we are building a big, nice palace for Krishna. And that palace of Krishna has to be on a nice foundation. Foundation has to be very strong. And that foundation of building this nice palace of bhakti for Krishna is what is known as Shraddha. So this Shraddha is very important. Shri Krishna bhajane hoye sabhe adhikari. Everybody have adhikar to perform Krishna bhajan. Whether it may be a Vipra, whether it can be a Shudra, or whether it can be a Pashu, or it can be a Nari. Shri Krishna bhajane hoye sabhe adhikari, kiba Vipra, kiba Shudra, ki Purusha Nari. So everybody has this entitlement of performing bhakti towards Lord Krishna. Now, whether that person can be a Brahmana, Shudra, man, or it can be a woman. But what is needed is Shraddha. Shraddhavan jan hoye bhakti adhikari. Only the persons who have faith, they are only qualified for this process of bhakti. So let's see what we have. So there are two symptoms of Shraddha. Now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is now elaborating on it. So first is that we have to have first of all, he defines what is Shraddha. Okay. Shraddha is unflinching faith in the statements of devotional scriptures. Unflinching faith. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, this verse. Shraddha Shabda Vishwasa Karishu Sudra Nishchaya. Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krita Hai. So Shraddha Shabda, this word Shraddha, it means Vishwas, the firm faith. Okay. By rendering transcendental loving service to Lord Shri Krishna, all one's obligations are automatically accomplished. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita. If somebody is performing Krishna Bhakti, then all other so-called dharmic activities will be taken care of because somebody is aspiring for the higher thing, that is Krishna Bhakti. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says there are two types, so two symptoms of Shraddha. What are the two symptoms? The very first symptom is having the unflinching faith in the imports of the scriptures. When that is awakened, then the second symptom, the effect of that such faith will arise. And what is that? One is that to serve, follow the process of devotional service with enthusiasm. So these are the two symptoms when Shraddha comes. First is we have the firm faith in the purports of the scriptures and the imports of the scriptures. Second is once we develop that faith, once we have that faith, we should start working on it. And how do we do that? By following the process of devotional service as prescribed in the scriptures with enthusiasm. These are the two symptoms of Shraddha that is being described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay. Now comes that it says that one must consolidate one's foundation, Shraddha, because one's Shraddha determines one's eligibility for bhakti. The more faith we have, the more we are closer to our process. And the less faith we have, the less we are away from our process. So this is what he is explaining, that firm faith to render Krishna's service is what is known as Shraddha. Okay, so we discussed the two symptoms of Shraddha. Now comes, it says, when we say the more faith we have, the more closer we are. It says, why? Because Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions, Shraddhavan jana hoy bhakti adhikari. The person who is having that Shraddha is actually entitled for this bhakti process. And on the basis of this firm faith, on the basis of this Shraddha, the devotees can be categorized as Uttama, Madhyama, Kanishta, Shraddha, Anusari. As per as their Shraddha is there, the devotees are categorized into Uttama, Madhyama, and Kanishta. Uttama Bhakta is one who has firm faith in the scriptures as well as he or she is able to explain it to others, and it brings an enthusiasm also in others for reading the scriptures. This is a Uttama Bhakta. First of all, that person, he himself is expert, he have full faith, and he also arouses that enthusiasm in the heart of others. Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, however, is a person who himself has a faith, firm faith in the scriptures, but is not that much expert in explaining the scriptures. And Kanishta Adhikari is one whose faith himself is little on a diced platform, means he or she is not very, very firm in whatever the imports of scriptures are. He or she will still have a doubt whether whatever is written in the scripture is really true. That is a Kanishta. So Shraddha is needed. Now that Shraddha can vary. Shraddha jan hoye bhakti adhikari, uttama madhyama kanishta Shraddha anusari. As much as Shraddha we have, on the basis of Shraddha, I'm not saying there are many ways in which you can determine whether the person is a Uttamadhikari or can be a Madhyamadhikari or can be a Kanishthadhikari. But on the basis of faith, on the basis of Shraddha, there are three ways in which these three devotees can be categorized into these three forms. Like they can be a Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. Now comes where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that how to attain that Shraddha. Okay? How do you attain that Shraddha? Because that Shraddha is the foundational step of our bhakti. So in this regard, there is a verse that is being mentioned by Kapila Dev. He tells his mother to Devahuti, Satam prasanga mama virya samvido bhavanti krit karna rasayana katha. It's a very important verse. Canto 3, chapter 25, verse 25. Tad yognat aparvaga vartamani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramashati. He says, Satam prasanga mama virya samvido. When somebody associates with the devotees, and in association, what do? Do they watch movies? Do they go out? No. Hrid, Karana, Rasayana, Krishna. They hear the glories, the rasa of Krishna's pastimes. Right? And how Hrid, Karana, with their heart and with their open ears. When they do this in association of devotees, then by doing this, what happens? Shraddha Rate Bhakti. That Shraddha, which is the qualification for bhakti, it gets aroused in the heart of the devotee. So Shraddha start gradually growing in the heart of that devotee. When they come in the association of devotees and they hear Krishna Katha or they chant Krishna's name. Now it's been described that there are two ways to attain Shraddha. Okay, how do we attain Shraddha? Definitely by sadhu sanga, when we come in the association. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that there are two ways to attain Shraddha. First is satsanga jayate Shraddha, when we come in the association of devotees, and another is when we artificially imitate others. We are not in the association of devotees, but seeing some senior devotee or seeing some serious sadhaka, we started imitating others. Okay, these are the two ways. Shraddha comes, but again, there is pros and cons for it. So this Shraddha, when it comes automatically, when it is through natural process, by associating with sadhus, is known as Swabhavika Shraddha. And the another Shraddha, which artificially imitating others, or it can be with other process also, it is known as Balpurvaka, means it is forced. It doesn't come naturally, but it is now coming by force. This Swabhavika Shraddha, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, is known as Shastriya Shraddha also. Because when we have the association of sadhu, we naturally get that Shraddha, and that Shraddha, which is Swabhaviki, which is natural, is having faith in the Shastras, which is Shastriya Shraddha. Now, Balpurvak Shraddha is also known as Laukika Shraddha. So in this regard, there is mentioned that sometimes, especially in India, we see that there are many areas and villages where some kind of a particular deity is worshipped. Right? And people, when they start developing that faith towards that deity and they start developing worship towards the deity, they start participating in the local festivals, then some impressions are forced in their minds. And that impressions are carried to the entire lineage. They don't have the knowledge for why they are worshipping and whom they are worshipping. But because it's a local trend, it's a Lokik thing that is happening in their town and village, they start developing some amount of faith in it and started worshipping that deity without having that particular knowledge. So what happens? Because they are doing it, it's creating an impression in their mind. And that impression is carried generation after generation. 1 minute. So that impression is carried forward generation after generation. Then what happened? They start doing this because it becomes their social norm to perform that. Sometimes they worship Krishna, sometimes they'll worship Ganesha, sometimes they'll worship Shiva, sometimes they'll worship Kali, Durga, or any deity, even Krishna, but they don't have a knowledge. Because it was popular in their area, they started developing and going to that social norm and start developing that impression, and that impression is carried to generation after generation. Right? So this is what is known as, what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, is Balpurvak, is Laukik Shraddha. Because of that local trend, some forced impressions are there, and they are posted and they are carried generation after generation, because of which they have this balpurvak upadita or balpurvak Shraddha, not Swabhavik Shraddha, but Balpurvak. In case of Swabhavik Shraddha, it has to come from Shastras. Therefore, it is known as Shastriya Shraddha. Now, this Lokik Shraddha, which is there, which is Balpurvak, can also be converted into Shastriya Shraddha, provided it is Satsanga Jayate Shraddha. When the person who is having this Lokik Shraddha again comes in the contact of a pure devotee and understands the Shastras properly, then the same way through which he got Lokik Shraddha in association of sadhu gets Shastriya Shraddha. And it becomes natural. Then it becomes Swabhavika. Okay. Then comes the symptoms. So we have already discussed, first symptom is to accept the Shastras, and the second symptom is to follow the Shastras with enthusiasm. This is very important. With enthusiasm, we should study those Shastras once we have developed firm faith in the Shastras. Now here, Jiva Goswami in his Bhakti Sandarbha actually elaborates on this point. I don't want to go into that detail, but want to bring this thing in the session that there are two ways, two type of people. One is Ruchi Pradhan and another is Vichar Pradhan. So when we start reading the Shastras, sometimes we have so many doubts. If we have general doubts and which we want to be finished off, and we start developing ruchi towards Shastras, that is the Ruchi Pradhan Shastra. Once those people who have that ruchi, once they come in contact with the Shastras, they start developing taste for the Shastras. They want to study the Shastras systematically, and they want to follow the process also very, very enthusiastically. But there are some Vichar Pradhan people who have their own logic and arguments. So when they are exposed to Shastras by Satsanga only, because you get taste in the Shastras by Satsanga. So once they get taste in the Shastras by Satsanga, still because their thought process is in the logical argument, they start doubting the Shastras. Okay, they started thinking, how can this be possible? How can that be possible? They want to bring all kinds of logic and arguments in that. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that even those who are Vichar Pradhan people, they also they will also develop faith in the Shastras, provided they are exposed to the right people, the right sadhus who can make them devoid of all the doubts they have. So that is very important. Therefore, it is mentioned Satsanga Jayate. Satsanga here doesn't mean just the association of devotees that we have in Bhakti Vriksha or in some local programs. Satsanga means having really the Sangha of pure sadhus, having the Sangha of pure devotees who can remove all the doubts that we have while studying the Shastras. If that is not done, then the person is bound to become a Vichar Pradhan, where he or she will have many doubts, whether many arguments and counter arguments in the words of the Shastras. Whereas those who are Ruchi Pradhan, they themselves get taste in the Shastras. They don't ask if, what, but if. They don't have such questions. They are naturally inclined towards the Shastras. So their faith is also strong, but those who are Vichar Pradhan people, their faith will also strengthen in the Shastras, provided they are exposed to the pure devotees of the Lord. This is how we attain Shraddha. Shraddha, having faith in the Shastras, is very, very important. we should try to have it as much as possible, because that is the foundation of the process of bhakti. Sometimes people will say that, no, bhakti is sentiment. It's an emotion. Why do we have to study so much? Why do we have to go in depth of this knowledge? It's just the matter of love for Krishna. It's just the matter of having some emotions and sentiments for Krishna. Prabhupada says that if we have only sentiments, then that will lead us to sahijya. We will become sahajas. We will commit a lot of offense towards Krishna. And therefore, Prabhupada has always guided us that even when we are reading any scriptures, we have to start with the prelude. We have to start with the preface. We have to start, like for Bhagavatam, if we are reading, we should start with the first canto. If we immediately jump to the 10th canto, we will commit offense. Because yes, ultimately love and prema is because having some emotions towards Krishna, but that emotions should not be baseless. Those sentiments should not be baseless. So first understand the greatness and opulence of Krishna, then understand the sweetness of Krishna. If we take Chaitanya Charitamrita and immediately jump into Antya Leela, we will commit offense in understanding the nature of Mahaprabhu. But if we start with Adi Leela, then we will know the greatness of Mahaprabhu, the greatness of Panchatattva, the mission of Panchatattva. And then slowly and gradually, by reading that Madhya Leela and then coming to Antya Leela, we will relish it more. So this is important, that having the firm faith in the scriptures and scrutinizingly reading it, nicely studying it, not reading like a newspaper, but studying it properly will help us. Okay. So this is what is known as Shraddha. And having that Shraddha is the eligibility to enter into the process of bhakti. So as our verse says, Ado Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sanga. Now we will discuss about Sadhu Sanga. So we have developed that faith in the Shastras. We have developed the faith in the process of devotional service. And the second symptom of performing that devotional service with enthusiasm has also come in us. Then comes Sadhu Sanga. Now this Sadhu Sanga means taking Guru Pad Ashraya, taking or accepting a bona fide spiritual master and working on the process of taking initiation from him. This is what is Sadhu Sanga. When we come in contact of a pure devotee of the Lord and think that this personality can change and transform my heart, and we want to 100% surrender unto that personality, that is what is known as Diksha, or that is what is known as initiation. Okay. So one should first take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. So what do we do after Shraddha? Then Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu only says, Adav Prathame. Adav Prathame means the Pratham part of having that Shraddha is done. Then comes Sadhu Sanga Shastra Shravana Dwara Shraddha Tatha Artha Vishwasa Tatha Prathama Antara. After that first process, Dvitiya, the second process starts, which is Sadhu Sanga Bhajana, Riti Siksha Nibandhana. That at first, by hearing devotional text in the association of some Sadhu Sangha, we get Shraddha, unflinching faith in the words of scriptures, and saintly person awakens that faith. Thereafter, when a person realizes that engaging exclusive in bhajan is his prime duty, he further associates with saintly personalities. In other words, the next step is to accept the shelter of a lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master and receive instructions on this process of bhajan. So Shraddha is developed, from faith is fixed. Now we have to receive some instructions so that we can perform our bhajan nicely. And that can only be possible when we surrender unto a bona fide spiritual master. And that is what is known as Sadhu Sanga. This Sadhu Sanga, in this verse, Rupa Goswami is not mentioning about that Sadhu Sanga which we were having in our local programs. This Sadhu Sanga is becoming more serious in our process of bhakti and taking initiation from a bona fide spiritual master. Bhagavatam says, Tasmat Gurum Prapadde Jitnasusha Uttamam. A person who desires the real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and should take shelter of him and take initiation. Out of 64 limbs of bhakti in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami says that the first limb of bhakti after Shraddha is to take Guru Padashram, to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Now the point comes, who is a bona fide spiritual master? How do I recognize that this person or this personality is bona fide and I should surrender unto him? What makes that personality become a guru? So first is that that personality should be well versed in the Vedas and in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essential expression of the Vedic purports as well as in other devotional scriptures. By citing the evidence and reasoning given in scripture, he can dispel the doubts in the disciple's heart. If we accept a bona fide spiritual master, if we surrender unto him, and our doubts of Shastras or our doubts on the process of devotional service is not dispelled, then that means the relationship with that guru has not been established. The guru should be competent enough to dispel all the doubts that is there in the heart of a disciple. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam only. And next is, he should be Bhagwan Ashrit always. The guru should be Bhagwan Ashrit. He has the realization of Bhagwan and having performed bhajan of Bhagwan with unflinching faith and determination. He himself should have performed that determination, that bhajan which is full of faith and determination. Only then he will be able to pass on to his disciple. The third is, he should have received the Kripa Shakti of Bhagavan. And he has attained that realization of that which is beyond the range of the mundane senses. And then he is capable of infusing that Kripa Shakti in the heart of the disciple. What he has received from his Guru, what he has received from his Guru and his Guru has received from his Guru, that Kripa Shakti, he should be able to forward it into the heart of his disciple. Should be able to infuse that Kripa Shakti in the heart of his disciple. And last but not least, second last is, he is not oppressed by lust, anger, greed, or any other such lowly impulses. Vacho vegam, udara vegam, krodha vegam, that urges, he should be able to control. Whether it may be a lust, it may be an anger, it may be a greed, or any such lowly impulses, he should have become a Swami of all those things. Then only he is known as a Goswami. And last but not least, he should be in a bona fide parampara. He should not say that I have started my own parampara, here I am, and I have started accepting disciples. No, that doesn't work. He should be in a bona fide parampara. That is the qualification of a bona fide spiritual master, whom a disciple should look for and should be able to surrender unto that bona fide spiritual master. So Rupa Goswami says, Guru Pad Ashraya. So once you have taken that Guru Pad Ashraya, once you have started following a personality and accepted that personality as your spiritual master. Now, no matter the formal process of Diksha happens or not, but once you have accepted and started working as per his instructions and started surrendering unto him, that is what is known as Guru Padashraya. So Guru Padashraya Tasmat Krishna Diksha Adi. Then comes Diksha. Then comes your process of surrendering. So here, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kena Naya Jai Krishna Tattva Veta Se Guru Haya. Who can become that bona fide spiritual master? Whether it may be a Vipra, whether he can become a sannyasi, or even a householder, or even a Shudra. But a person who knows about Krishna Tattva, who has firm faith in Krishna Tattva, is fit to become a spiritual master. But these are the qualifications that is mentioned in Uddhava Gita, in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Krishna instructs Shri Uddhavji. Then comes the process of initiation. So, Tasmat Guru Ashraya Krishna Diksha. Then someone takes Diksha, takes a formal initiation from that spiritual master. So when person takes Guru Padashraya, he or she start serving the Guru. Person starts serving the Guru with mind, body, and words. This is known as Guru Pasatti. Okay, this is known as Guru Pasatti. Guru Pad Akshraya, Diksha Guru Sevana, Sadharma Shiksha, Pricha Sadhu, Maraganu Anugama. Surrendering to a spiritual master, followed by formally taking initiation into Krishna mantra, that is Diksha mantras, and receiving instructions also, Shiksha also, on what? On the process of devotional service or the eternal service to Krishna. And then third is serving the spiritual master with full faith and intimacy. So Guru Padakshra, Diksha, and then Guru Sevana. These three things are very important. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that the purport is that before a person accepts Diksha mantra, before you have taken the initiation, it is imperative that he reside close to the spiritual master, pleasing the spiritual master's heart by sincerely serving him with one's body, mind, and words. This is known as Guru Pasatti. By this process, the prospective Guru and disciple are able to examine each other's nature and qualities. So when we take Guru Padashraya, we should try to serve Guru Maharaj, we should try to serve our spiritual master, and should try to follow his instructions as well. Initiation is not a fashion. Initiation is not that today I decide, okay, this person should be my spiritual master. Next day I go and I take initiation because of some fashion. No, that should not be the case. A proper relationship should be established. Having your spiritual master in life is just like marrying. It's just like a marriage. You marry once in your life. Okay, so we have to be very careful whom we are choosing are our spouse, because it's a lifetime commitment. So for the lifetime commitment, if we really struggle thinking, okay, astrological charts should be matched, or the person should have this quality, should be more compatible, or we have X number of list we have, in that we perform and we check and we select the spouse, and it's a lifetime commitment. But having a spiritual master is not a lifetime commitment. Janme Janme Prabhu say, it's not one life commitment, it's your entire life commitment, life's commitment. Okay, so we have to be very careful whom we are choosing our spiritual master. And that can be possible when we start serving the spiritual master through our body, mind, and words. We start following the instructions of the spiritual master. Therefore, in our ISKCON culture, it has been established by the Governor Body Commissioner, that is GBC, Governing Body Commission, that minimum of 6 months is required before you take a formal initiation. Minimum 6 months. And this is just a Harinam Diksha. But what here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, the Diksha, Krishna Mantra Diksha, means second initiation. So in second initiation and after first initiation and second initiation, there should be a gap. There should be a gap where we study the scriptures properly under the guidance of a spiritual master who strengthens our faith, and then we take Diksha with that spiritual master. Then he gives that Diksha mantra to us to enhance our bhakti onto a higher level. So don't consider that this Diksha is just a fashion. No, it's not a fashion. It's a commitment for life after life. So we have to be very, very careful. So this is the process of initiation. When we get Diksha from the spiritual master. Okay, then comes, here it has been mentioned, Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpan. Sai kale Krishna tare kare atma saman. Sai deha kare tara chidanandamaya. Aprakrata deha tare charana bhajaya. So what happened at Diksha? One completely surrenders unto a bona fide spiritual master and receive those mantras. At that time, Sri Krishna makes him as spiritual as himself. Sai kale Krishna kare atma sama. One becomes as spiritual as Krishna. One's body gets spiritualized. With his spiritual body, then what happened? The devotee then worship Krishna's lotus feet. So then you get entrance in worshipping Krishna on the altar or even the altar of your mind. Right? So you start worshipping. Then that is what is Diksha. So first is Guru Padashraya. Spend some time in Guru Padashraya. Then you take Diksha. You take initiation. After Diksha, then don't throw away your Guru. Don't consider that now I have accepted this personality as my spiritual master. He was mere a ladder for me to perform worship for Krishna's lotus feet. So now I have been eligible to worship Krishna's lotus feet. I don't need the ladder anymore. No. That's the worst understanding. Spiritual master is not a ladder. He himself is a representative of Krishna. Therefore, after taking initiation, Guru Vakya becomes Mahavakya. And then comes Guru Seva. We should perform Seva towards our spiritual master. Shri Guru Charanarati Aisai Uttamagati Jai Prasade Pure Sarvasha. Narottam Das Thakur in Guru Charan Padma, that famous prayers that we sing, writes that deep attachment to the lotus feet of the spiritual master is the ultimate perfection of one's life. And by his grace only, Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha, all our spiritual desires will be fulfilled. In Bhagavad Gita 4:34, chapter 4, verse 34, Prabhupada writes in his purport that satisfaction of a self-realized spiritual master is the way by which we can advance in our spiritual life. So Guru Vakya then becomes a Mahavakya. That means we have to completely surrender unto the instructions of spiritual master after taking Diksha. Not just kick out the ladder considering, oh, spiritual master was just a ladder for me. No. Spiritual master's fulfillment, his desires fulfillment, his satisfaction is actually the advancement of the devotee's or disciple's spiritual life. The more the disciple wants to progress, the more he or she should be able to satisfy his or her spiritual master. So Guru Padashraya, then Diksha, then Guru Seva. That completes your Sadhu Sanga. That is how the Sadhu Sanga gets completed. Because after when we serve the spiritual master, then what happened? Spiritual master understands our Swarupa, our Swarup, our Siddha Deha. He understands. And then he connects to us. He finds in us that we are, how we are inclined to have that relationship with Krishna in Vatsalya Bhav, in Das Bhav, in Sakya Bhav, in Madhurya Bhav. Then he connects us to the saints. He connects us to the Ragatmika Bhakta. And then when we do Anucharan, when we follow the footsteps of those Ragatmika Bhakta, then our Rag for Krishna strengthens and it gets established. So even to connect to a Ragatmika Bhakta, we need the mercy of the spiritual master. Because after serving the spiritual master, when spiritual master is pleased to us, he sees the different moods of devotion into us. And then he makes us associate with that sadhu who is having the similar mood as we are having. He connects us to that sadhu or to that personality. And then when we associate that sadhu, we become blessed. So this is the second process of sadhu sanga. First was Shraddha, we discussed. But in the second, sadhu sanga, the first is Guru Padashraya, then comes Diksha, and third is Guru Seva. That we should perform some service towards our spiritual master. Now comes the third one, that is Bhajana Kriya, performing the practices of devotion. So sadhu sanga, Ado Shraddha, sadhu sanga, tatha bhajana kriya. 3 processes have been described in those entire 9 processes. So this is now bhajana kriya, performing your bhajan under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, not whimsically doing your own bhajan. Each and every step should be guided and nourished by the spiritual master. Then one enters into the bhajan kriya, that is the 9-fold processes of bhakti, by hearing, by chanting, and remembering and serving the deity as instructed by the spiritual master. As instructed by the spiritual master. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse, very famous verse, I know pretty much all of you must be knowing. Bhajanera madhya shrestha navavida bhakti. In bhajan, the shresht is performing that navavida bhakti. Krishna prema Krishna dete tare mahashakti. And tara madhya, and out of those 9 processes, sarva shrestha is nama sankirtan. Niraprade naam hoye paye Krishna premadhan. When we perform that offenseless chanting, then we are entitled to get that premadhan. Okay. So this is how the sadhaka performs his or her bhajana kriya, means performing those 9 processes of devotional service as instructed and guided by the bona fide spiritual master. Now, in this, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, this process is not easy. Then he now defines. He says that we have bhajana kriya. Now this bhajana kriya are of 2 types. It is anishtha bhajana kriya and nishtita bhajana kriya. As the word itself explains, nishtita means having that firm faith in our bhajan kriya. No slacking down at all. No fall down and no slacking. That is our nishtita bhajana kriya. No fall down, no slacking. Whatever has been given instructions by the spiritual master, 100% following it, no fall down in that, and completely surrendering to a bona fide spiritual master. That is what is nishtita bhajana kriya. But normally the devotees fall under this category of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. And this Anishtita Bhajan Kriya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that there are 6 types. The very first is Utsahamai. Utsahamai means filled with short-lived enthusiasm. You all can introspect in your life and you will come to know that we all had this Utsahamai, Anishtita Bhajan. The moment we got Harinam Diksha, we became so serious. Next day onwards, 16 rounds done early in the morning, sitting at one place. And then slowly and gradually it fades away. That enthusiasm goes. That enthusiasm we had when we were holding on to the beads given to us by our spiritual master, do we have that same enthusiasm for those beads? Do we have that same love for those beads when we were craving for that initiation and we were craving to have those beads that were chanted by our spiritual master? But now that enthusiasm is no more. But instead, it is on to the peak. That is Anishtita Bhajan. Anishtita Bhajan is when we have Utsaha at the start, but now as the time goes by, our Utsaha also goes down. Our enthusiasm in doing or performing devotional service also goes down. This is known as Utsahamai Anishta Bhajana. Bhajana full of initial enthusiasm when we are introduced in Krishna consciousness. We take everything so seriously. We don't find faults in others because we want to see all good in others. But slowly and gradually, when we get deep into Krishna consciousness, we think, okay, this person is like this person is behaving like this. Okay, my chanting is there, I'll chant later. No matter, neither my beads are running away, neither the mantra is running away. That kind of feeling we get. And that enthusiasm, we slacken in our enthusiasm. That is known as Utsahamai Anishtita Bhajan. The second that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says is Ghana Tarala. Ghana means condensed, thick. Tarala means thin, or you can say diluted. So Ghana Tarala Anishta Bhajan is when we are not consistent in our performing of devotional service, when our devotional service is not a pratihata, when it is not ahituki, when it becomes conditioned. I am happy, everything in my life is going on good, I am able to focus on my rounds. The moment some suffering comes, the rounds are the first that goes down. Opposite should happen. But our enthusiasm in chanting goes down because now our focus is running towards the suffering. So there is a slack in our devotion whenever there is some obstacle arises in our service. So our devotion also gets slackened. Sometimes it is very thick, sometimes it is thin. Sometimes my body doesn't support and we just say, okay, Aaj take rest, maybe tomorrow. This way the mind tricks us. This way the mind, I woke up, I slept late, so I have that adhikar to sleep 1 hour extra. I'm not saying that we have to be very rigid, but the more rigid we are, the more pakka we are in our devotional service. That is for sure. But yes, we have to listen to our body also. I'm not saying that follow all the rules, even at the cost of everything, that you are down with fever and still you should do. But the point is that Ghana Tarala Anishtita Bhajan is that sometimes it is very thick and we really find bliss in doing devotional service. And sometimes we just do it for the sake of doing it. We don't do it with full enthusiasm. We don't do it with full conviction. That is what is Ghana Tarala. The third that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says is Viyuda Kalpa. Viyuda Vikalpa means when we oscillate like a pendulum. When we oscillate like a pendulum between resolve and doubt. Like me, in a simple language, you can say when we are indecisive. That is Viyuda Vikalpa. We think, oh, should I consider my family to be a Vaishnavas, my home to be a temple, and should start serving my Vaishnavas and home, and that will be my devotional service? Or should I just leave everything? Come on, after all, they are all people of this world only. Family is not going to be there even after death. They will leave me. So why I'm simply wasting the time? Why not I should renounce everything and go to Vrindavan and do my bhajan nicely? Do my practices of devotional service like Shravana and Kirtan without any disturbance. And that way I will be a very successful devotee. But then point comes, oh no, actually scripture says that we should be in whatever ashram we are, we should follow it nicely. So right now I am in a grahastha ashram. Let me follow my grahastha ashram properly. I have not even experienced all the miseries of sense enjoyment that is coming. How do I know that the sense enjoyment will lead to misery? No, I don't know. Let me first live my life and then I will renounce. But then another time, we'll read the Shastras and we'll come to know that no, this life, this grahastha is like a andhakupam, is like a blind well that is covered with the grass and it will make us fall down. So why should I get entangled into this grahastha ashram? Why should I not renounce everything like Bharat Maharaj, who renounced his family, his wife, his children, his kingdom like a stool? Let me follow the footsteps of Bharat Maharaj and renounce it everything. But then we hear, no, my mother, my father, they are old. My wife, my spouse, she has a small child. How will she take care? I have the responsibility. Let me take care and let the child grow. And then probably I will renounce. But then the thought comes, maybe I may not live at that time. Maybe I die sooner. Then what? Then what will happen? Old age, how can I offer my old age to the Supreme Lord when I myself will be dependent on others? So these kinds of thought process that comes and because of which we are unstable in our bhajan is known as Viyuda Vikalpa. There is another type of Viyuda Vikalpa where sometimes we think, okay, what is the best process? Is Shravana the best process? Then let me hear. Whole day, 24/7, I should hear. Or Kirtana is the best process. Okay, let me do Kirtan only the whole day. I should chant 24/7, 64 rounds, 182 rounds, 192 rounds. No, Kirtan is best. Oh, no. Somebody said in the 8th chapter that Antakale Smarana Mukta. You have to remember. So let me practice Smarana. That is best. No. Pad Sevanam is best. No, I heard that Vandanam is best. So let me offer my prayers. So this way we oscillate between different processes. And sometimes we think, forget it. Let me be a Marish Maharaj and try to follow all the 9 processes to the best of my capability. So this is Viyuda Vikalpa. And how to resolve it? Take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Ask him, ask his guidance. He will guide you because he has studied your nature properly. Go to your Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru and learn, okay, what is best for us. And then we can follow. So these are the different ways in which the sadhaka oscillates. He's so indecisive. What should do, what should not be do, and is not able to decide. That is known as Viyuda Vikalpa Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Next comes Vishaya Sangara. Sangara means battle. Vishaya means objects, sense objects. Right? We are battling every day with our attachment to the objects of senses. We are simply battling. I don't have to explain it much, but we all know that Krishna consciousness is possible only when we are on one boat. And one boat, when we are on, then it's a safe ride, right? It's a safe ride. But if we are on two boats, it will be a bumpy ride. So Vishaya Sangara is every day we are battling. We are trying to maintain a balance between the material life and the spiritual life, where we should be very clear that there is only one boat, and that is spiritual life. Even if we have anything material, we have to spiritualize them and ride only on single boat. If we want to go east, we will never reach east if we are going in the direction of west. If we have to if we have to move forward towards the east direction, we should follow the east direction only. So if we are on the path of our spiritual life, we should focus only on our spiritual life. Even if some material things are there, try to spiritualize them, rather maintaining the balance between your spiritual life and spiritual life. That will not lead us to the right destination. I'm not saying this, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. So when we try to give up our sense pleasure, but we are not able to, we battle with it because of our past samskaras, and we fall onto those sense objects, that is known as Vishaya Sanghara Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Next comes Niyamakshana. Niyamakshana means we have some niyam which we have laid ourselves for us, not through a bona fide spiritual master, but those niyam which we have laid ourselves for us. Tomorrow onwards, I will chant 64 rounds, no matter what. And whole day is gone in chanting. And whole day we have to take care of other things in our life. And then we are battling. And then what happened? We are not able to uphold our vows. We are not able to keep up our vows. Oh, I heard Das Goswami used to pay 1,000 obeisances to devotees and to deities and 2,000 to devotees every day. Okay, I cannot imitate him, but at least let me do 10 for deities and 20 for devotees every day. And then we fall on to our vows. This is known as Niyamakshana. So don't make your own niyam. Those niyams should also be guided. Those regulations, those rules should also be guided by a spiritual master. In this regard, I just remembered that there was one person, devotee of Srila Prabhupada, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was in Mayapur, and he went and he asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I want to chant 64 rounds. There is no harm in chanting 64 rounds. Okay, there is no harm. I'm not against chanting more rounds. I myself aspire to chant as many rounds as possible, but not on cost of my ashram in which I am in. Okay, so that is very important. So Prabhupada knows the nature of that person, and he said, okay, you want to chant 64 rounds, that is very good, but I'll instruct you right now, focus on your 16 rounds. He said, no, Prabhupada, you don't know, I have got so much taste, I want to chant 64 rounds. Prabhupada again said, chant 16 rounds with full enthusiasm, with full determination. But right now, just chant 16 rounds. Don't jump onto 64. But that disciple was so adamant, he said, no, I will chant 64 rounds. And then Prabhupada, like a loving mother, said, okay, do whatever you want. Later, he told his other disciples, he cannot make his spiritual master happy. How can he make Krishna happy? By chanting 64 rounds. And later there was a big fall down of that devotee. But the point is, inability to uphold vows is because we have made our own vows, not realizing what is my nature, and what is my eligibility and what is my position. So that leads to Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Today I will chant 32, tomorrow 64, then 48. I'll keep oscillating. Now, what is the difference between Vishaya Sangara and Niyamakshana? They look like simple, but no. Vishaya Sangara is when we are battling with the sense objects. And Niyamakshana is when we are battling by keeping up our vows. This is totally materialistic. When we are simply battling on a gross level, that we are not able to control our senses and we are battling. And this is when we are unable to control our self-made vows. So we have to be very careful. Keep your standard minimal. Slowly and gradually, shane, like a baby steps, try to increase your devotional service so that it becomes consistent lifelong. It should be consistent. If today I have decided I'll chant 25 rounds, let me make it a point to chant 25 rounds. Okay, if I'm able to do 25 and if I have a desire to do 26, let me do 26. But first introspect where we are and then slowly and gradually improve your devotional service. Whether it may be offering food to the Lord, whether it may be a chanting, whether it may be a reading scriptures, or whether it is hearing classes. No matter whatever service we are doing it, do it consistently so that there is no niyamakshana. And the fifth one, this is the fifth one, and the last and the sixth one is Taranga Rangini. Taranga Rangini. Rangini. Ranga means to find pleasure or to seek pleasure or to enjoy. And Taranga means waves. To enjoy the waves. Right? And that comes because of bhakti. So when we perform bhakti, there is a pleasure in bhakti also. And these small waves that come because of bhakti, which is naam, which is pratishtha, which is lobha, lobe for followers. When this comes, then devotee start enjoying these byproducts of bhakti. But actually, this because they are coming because of bhakti. They are coming because of bhakti. And the devotees start enjoying into so-called small waves, ignoring the big wave of bhakti. They are enjoying in the small waves that is coming because of bhakti. Actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that yes, it is a Taranga Rangini, but they are the weeds. They are not the bhakti itself. They are not the byproduct of bhakti. They are coming because of bhakti only, but it is Anishtita Bhakti. They are coming because of Anishtita Bhakti, not Nishtita Bhakti. It is Anishtita Bhajana Kriya that gives rise to this Taranga Rangini. It's a type of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya because it gives name, it gives fame, and it's just like the weed. And the more we sprinkle water, the more this weed will grow. And then what will happen? What happens when the weed grows? It chokes the growth of the real plant. So we should not be attached with those weeds. Rather, we should take out, uproot them as soon as we find them. If through my kirtan, if people are impressed, then I should know, are they really impressed because of the kirtan or because of the voice or because the way I sing the kirtan? And because of which I'm getting some naam, some pratishtha. Uproot that. Uproot that thinking that Krishna says, I am the ability in man. Whatever qualifications we have, whatever abilities we possess is because of Krishna. Give it to Krishna. Give it to your spiritual master. Who are we? We are nothing. We are insignificant person, insignificant jiva who has nothing. It's because of some good fortune. Brahmande bhambite bhagyavane jiva. Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata bija. Now I got this bhakti. Let me nourish it nicely. And if I see any so-called weeds growing, let me uproot those weeds, because these weeds, if I keep on giving more sunlight and more water by my process of devotional service, then these weeds will choke the real plant. The real plant of bhakti will be choked. So we should not find any ranga in those small, small tarangas that come. Rather, we should focus on the biggest wave of bhakti. So these are the 6 different anishtita bhajana kriya that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes. So we'll end here, because then this completes actually the second shower. We have successfully completed the second shower. And then next Friday, Krishna willing, we will start the third shower of nectar, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will be delineating the process of anartha nivritti. And it's a pretty long shower, and it's totally in so much of detail that I don't know with how many sessions we will try to complete, but let's see how it unfolds. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any corrections, questions we can take up?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. It was loaded session with information. I did have a couple of questions. The first question was about Shraddha. Generally, when we talk about the Shraddha that is in the beginning, it is always, of course, you mentioned about how the Shraddha can be because of, from Shastra, basically. And my question there was, generally, when we talk about Shraddha, it is not necessary that it should be firm Shraddha, right? The first Shraddha that we're talking about.
If we are talking about this particular verse that Rupa Goswami wrote, on which this entire commentary is written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that is Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sanga. If we are talking about that verse, then that Shraddha is not the initial faith, it is the firm faith that Rupa Goswami is mentioning.
Oh, so which means then only when we come to that real firm faith, actually bhakti is beginning. So, so now, so again, let me put this together. The Shraddha that is spoken in this verse is like solid, firm faith, which will not waver in spite of any circumstance.
Should not waver.
And
that's the foundation of our bhakti. So should not waver. If it wavers, we should work on it.
And this the remaining phases, like, bhajana kriya, taking shelter of devotee, all this will flow simultaneously along with Shraddha, or it goes step after step?
It goes step after step. Once the Shraddha is established, only then we will look for another, okay, what to do after Shraddha. Once the Shraddha is established, then what to do after that? Okay, after that, surrenderance come. Surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. How to surrender? Okay, first is Guru Pada Ashray, then Diksha, and then Guru Seva. And under the guidance of that bona fide spiritual master, perform your bhajana kriya. That will lead to nishtita bhajana kriya, because it is now guided by the spiritual master.
Yeah. Another question I had was, when we talk about this imitation, imitation, seeing other devotees, can you describe a little more how that really manifests? Because we are seeing we are seeing a great Vaishnava and we are trying to behave like him. Is that what it is?
Trying to behave like him.
Like how? Meaning like how he walks, how he talks.
Like a devotee who is very much inclined into Shastra study. Okay. Then though we are not having that inclination, we try to follow and we try to imitate that devotee. A devotee who is so much into deity worship, a devotee who is so much into chanting, without even recognizing our inclination, we try to imitate them.
But wasn't there a fall down there immediately?
Not immediately, But yes, as I was showing this PPT, right? Not immediately. Okay, let me share also, then only we'll be able to see. Artificially imitating others. It will be a balapurvak, it will be a forced, because it is not coming from our intrinsic nature, and that will lead to a Laukika Shraddha. Laukika Shraddha means, again, either we are getting it through general worship that we are following in our area, or artificially imitating others. It will have definitely a fall down, but if at that point we understand and we do Sat Sangat Jayate, then that will lead again back to our Shastriya Shraddha. So this arrow that you see is very important. So we have to be always in the association of devotees, because they will tell us that, hey, you are imitating, your nature is not such. So please follow the Shastras, follow a guru, follow a sadhu, because here right now we have not surrendered unto a spiritual master, but we are still in the association of devotees. So take guidance from those association of devotees, and then your Shraddha and Shastra will be established.
I see. Okay, interesting. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. And somehow I feel every time we hear this verse, Adar Shraddha and so on, every time we think, okay, I'm in the stage, I'm the stage, I'm in the stage, but it appears like we are on all the stages.
We are not even started.
Or it may be, yeah, maybe we're a mix of everything, or we are not.
Yeah, mix of everything. Because once we are on Bhajan Kriya, that doesn't mean that we have the firm faith in Shraddha.
Yeah, that was
Our
my point.
Shraddha can still be lackened. Because next we'll see Anartha Nivritti. After that, Ruchi. Now, I can be on the Ruchi, but still the Anartha Nivritti has not completely happened. Still Anarthas are there. I may be on the platform of Asakti, but still Anarthas are there.
Right.
This is how it works.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. I mean, so much effort and fantastic class as always. Very, very deep. Today's session was very deep. Yeah, a lot to think internally about myself. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, I don't know who raised his hand there first. Kalpavali Mataji or Parima Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, go ahead, Parima Mataji. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you again for this wonderful class. After hearing this class, I came to a conclusion that I am nowhere.
This class was not to discourage. It was not to discourage, but to encourage.
I understand. But Mataji, the last points, the last part of the lecture that you discussed, that, we should not be oscillating. Yes, I understand that. But the distress part, especially when we are in a distress, at least I can tell you about myself. It's not that I stop chanting. I do chant all my rounds. But while chanting or while doing anything, in the background of your mind, I mean, I hope you understand that problem is kind of rotating.
Yeah, that's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also saying. That in distress, your bhajan is not 100% good, because you think that you want everything to be in bliss. Only then your bhajan will be free. That's why it is known as, what is the second one? Where it comes, let me see. My mind is also not working now. Ghanatarala. Ghanatarala, yeah. Ghanatarala is what it is, that sometimes we feel joy in performing our bhajan, and it is so thick, and sometimes it is thin, because maybe just one obstacle comes and we think that, okay, we are doing it for the sake of doing it. That real bliss doesn't come out because of that anartha.
But Mataji, anyway, we are sadhakas. So as sadhakas, we don't experience that bliss anyways, because we are still, at least I am still in a sadhaka stage, right?
But Mataji, still a little, it's not that complete bliss we will be able to attain, but yeah, little bit of bliss do come. Right? That's the main.
Mataji. And sometimes you have a headache, you are not in good health.
Yeah.
At that time, of course, I force myself into doing doing my rounds, of course. But it's so bad. My headache is so bad some days early in the morning. It's not that I don't wake up, but
so that's what I was saying, that not on cost of our health. Like previously also, I remember Yashomati Mataji asked this question, that now these days she's not able to wake up early in the morning. She chants little late. That's okay, Mataji. Don't force yourself. Be consistent. That's what my point was. Whatever bhajan, whatever devotional service we are doing, be consistent in that service.
And how to overcome all this that you discussed, that, in distress, we should be not focusing on our distress. How do we kind of overcome? It's kind of
through Shastra knowledge. Matra sparshastu kaunte sitos nasukha dukkada agama payino nityastam statikshvasa bharata. When we have this Shastra faith, that's what I'm saying, that Shraddha is firm faith in the Shastras. And Bhagavad Gita says that this distress and this happiness is just like a summer and winter season, it will come and go. And it is agama payino anityas, it is anitya, it will come and go. Tam statikshvasa bharata, please tolerate it. When we have that faith in the Shastras, then only our bhajan kriya will be nishtita bhajana kriya.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, let's
right now, as you said, this Shraddha, this Ado Shraddha is not that initial faith that we have in the process, but this is the firm faith in the Shastras, that whatever is written in the Shastras is not Arthavad, is not said for the sake of saying, but it means it. When the Shastras say that one who chants the name of Hari is liberated from the cycle of birth and death, even once when somebody chants, it should not be taken as Arthavad. It should be taken as the word of the Shastras. It will happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's the reason why we kind of, read this Bhagavatam and everything every day, so that we are continuously reminded, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for the clarification. Dandavat pranams to you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Karpagali Mataji.
Mataji, for the wonderful session. Mataji, I'm a neophyte devotee. I'm chanting my rounds regularly. I am not initiated, but I do chanting. I listen to Bhagavatam class, all this Chaitanya Bhagavata class, Bhagavatam, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita and all. I listen, and then I don't have any spiritual master, but I accept, and I always think Srila Prabhupada is my spiritual master, and always beg him for his nobody is there to initiate me, and how do I proceed? And some are telling my brother is he's an initiated devotee in Bangalore, Visakhapatnam ISKCON, and then he my Shiksha Guru, he only motivated me to do my rounds and all regularly. And then after that, since then I was doing all 16 rounds, and then I'm made Prabhupada told 20 rounds you make, and then you don't go beyond, fall down, you go increase in increase. I now made my rounds 20 rounds, and then I'm little I'm coming up to 28 till 28, 26, 25, like that I'm doing. But in spite of that also, I'm feeling that guilty that I'm not initiated. See, all my things are waste, and all my efforts to go to Krishna is waste.
No, Mataji, don't think that. It's nothing is wasted. Salpam api dharmasya trayate mahatopayat. Anything that is performed in devotional service is never waste, it never goes to vain. And as you said that you have accepted your brother as your Shiksha Guru, that is also very nice. But Mataji, try to get initiated. Work on this process. Hear some lectures of spiritual masters and see to whom you are connected to, and then connect yourself. It's important. Rupa Goswami is giving this as one of the limb of bhakti, important limb, first limb. If you read Nectar of Devotion, when he describes 64 limbs of devotional service, the very first is Guru Padashraya and second is Diksha. So take Guru Padashraya. Yes, you have accepted your brother as your Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru should guide you now to further progress. Like you have increased your chanting, very good. But now you should work on this, that you should take initiation also. It's very important because once we are in a hand of a Diksha Guru, we are safe. We are safe. Okay, so Guru ke bina gati nahi hoti. There is no way where you can cross this ocean of nuisance without taking the shelter of spiritual master. There is no way means no way. Because the boat on which you will be landing to cross this ocean, the captain of that boat will be your spiritual master. So the captain is very important for any ship, for any boat to cross over any ocean. So you should have a spiritual master in a bona fide sampradaya. All you know that there are 4 bona fide sampradayas. So in a bona fide sampradaya, if you have a bona fide spiritual master and if you are surrendering to it, that's it. You will be in good hands. So pray to Krishna. It's through the mercy of Krishna you will get spiritual master, and through the mercy of spiritual master only you will get Krishna. It works like this. Just pray to Krishna and you will definitely find whom you will be wholeheartedly you will be surrendering to. Prabhupada, yes. Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for every one of us. Every one of us. But Prabhupada himself says, Tat vidhi pranipatena paripashnena sevaya. To whom you are going to ask your question, your doubt, and spiritual master will dispel those doubts. So for that, you need a living guru. You need a living guru. Of course, the guru, Prabhupada has established all the ISKCON spiritual masters. When they initiate, they will always say, we are initiating you on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. So their promise is that they will take us to Srila Prabhupada. And as you said, you have already accepted Prabhupada as your Shiksha Guru, and Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for everybody. But there should be someone who can take us and introduce us to Srila Prabhupada. And then Srila Prabhupada will say, okay, my disciple has introduced you to me and I accept you. And then Prabhupada will take us to Krishna. Right? So start praying. We all will pray for you. That soon you find your spiritual master to whom you wholeheartedly you surrender unto him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Yashomati Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Sanga. Mataji, such a deep and detailed class, so much instruction I got from that more and more in deep. And Mataji, I have a question. Can you make a more focus, throw the light on the Vyuda Vikalpa?
Vyuda Vikalpa. Vyuda Vikalpa is when we oscillate. I'll show you. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Let me open my presentation. I'm not sharing it, but Vyuda Vikalpa is when we oscillate. Oscillate between, see, when we read Shastras, right? The Shastras define, you should consider your family to be devotee, your home to be a temple, and you should work on it. Right? But then what happened? Then you hear in the Shastras that actually residing in Vrindavan Dham or any holy Dham is very good. And when you practice your devotional service like Shravan and Kirtan in Dham, it will result in multifold benefits. So now you are thinking, should I stay here in my Grastashram or should I just go to Vrindavan? So you are oscillating. You are not confirmed what to do, what should not be do. And at one point you think, no, actually I should take care of this Grahastha ashram. But then you read prayers of Prahlad, where Prahlad Maharaj says that this Grahastha ashram is like Andhakup. It's like a blind well. So am I diving deep into blind well? No. Better I should renounce. But if I renounce, will it be an artificial renunciation or it will be a true renunciation? Am I renouncing it with knowledge or I'm renouncing with some sentiments or with some frustrations? So this way there are different oscillate. You oscillate. Pendulum होता है ना माता जी, इधर जाता है फिर उधर जाता है फिर उधर जाता है. Pendulum वाली clock.
Oh, yeah.
It goes from one end, then goes to another end, then goes to. So we thoughts are also going from one direction to another direction. Now, who is going to guide us? This is Anishtha. This is Anishtha. But if we present our confusion to our spiritual master, knowing our nature, will truly guide us what is good and what is not good for us. And then that will lead to Nishtita Bhajan. Then we will not oscillate anymore. Rather, we'll be sthir, we will be steady in our services.
Thank you, Mataji, so much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, it's already 12. So many questions. Yes, Kalyani Mataji, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for this wonderful session today. Also, as usual, every week we are enjoying and enlightening us. You are always. I have a question, Mataji.
Please go ahead.
You said that serving the devotees by remembering our Guru, either the same serving our Guru
Serving
Seva?
is the same as serving the Guru.
Yeah. By remembering our Guru.
By remembering your spiritual master and then you are serving the devotees?
Yes.
Yes, that's very good. Why not? My Guru Maharaj would always say, if you want to serve me, serve my God brothers and my God sisters. So when we are keeping Srila Prabhupada or our Srila Gurudev in center and we are serving the devotees, that means we are moving ahead in the mission of our Srila Gurudev. And our Gurudev's mission is what? To cooperate, to show our love by cooperating with each other. So we are keeping the mission of, whether keep the Vapu of Guru or keep the Vani of Guru, it's one and the same thing. So we are keeping the Vani, the instruction of Srila Gurudev, that always cooperate with each other, love each other, don't have any animosity or enviousness towards others. And in that mood, when we are serving, we are keeping the instructions of Srila Gurudev in the center. So that's very good. Actually, that should be the way.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Kalyani Mataji. Yes, we'll take the last question. Manjari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, celebrate Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Sharanga. Mataji, such a wonderful lecture. Very, very, like there's so many points that you went through. And you know, like when you read versus when you explain it, it's a big difference in how we understand different things. My one question that I came up from the previous questions is about, you know, what you said from going from Anishtita Bhajan Kriya to Nishtita Bhajan Kriya. We need to follow the Guru and Guru's words and get closer to a Guru. So do Vapu Seva, Vani Seva, and then he understands our nature and he'll take us to Nishtita Bhajan Kriya. Now, sometimes I know that we might not have direct association of our gurus, in front of us. So in that case, we have sometimes mentors, and then our Shiksha gurus. Yeah. But then sometimes even Shiksha gurus are pretty far. In my case, I'll say, I have Shiksha gurus that are like far from where I live. And sometimes because of that distance, it's hard to just constantly explain someone how my nature is.
Shiksha Guru should be such, should not be like a Diksha Guru whom we cannot approach. So Shiksha Guru should be such who is approachable.
And it's so hard to find someone then, like in the vicinity.
Pray to Srila Gurudev. He knows your nature and he will connect you. Because our Shiksha Guru should also be such who knows the mood of our spiritual master and should guide us in that way, that path. Right?
Yeah, please pray for me, Mataji. That's definitely needed. I would definitely want.
And one more thing, Mataji, I would like to hear stress that don't take as your mentors and counselors to be your Shiksha Gurus. Okay, there is a lot of difference. Your Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru should be so honorable that they are actually on the same level. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that there is no difference between a Diksha Guru and a Shiksha Guru for a disciple. For a disciple, they both are on the same platform. Okay, so choose very carefully because you have to give equal respect as your Diksha Guru. Equal respect should be given. Otherwise, it will be Guru Avagya. Our parampara is actually Shiksha parampara. When we go on the altar, what we see? We have Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. We have Bhakti Vinod Thakur. No, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Diksha spiritual master was Vinod Bihari. But now, why we have a picture of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj? Because he was the Shiksha Guru of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Similarly, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was a Shiksha Guru of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. If you see that introduction page in Bhagavad Gita, there also it is mentioned. After Narottam Das Thakur, it is mentioned Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And after Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it's mentioned Baladev Vidyabhushan. Now, Narottam Das Thakur and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, there was a gap of 4 generations. But still, because he was considered as a Shiksha Guru, he takes guidance from Narottam Das Thakur every moment. That was the caliber of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So we are in that Shiksha parampara. So don't consider Shiksha Guru to be ordinary human being. Shiksha Guru should be given equal respect to Diksha Guru and should be of equal caliber of Diksha Guru and should have the same mood of our Diksha Guru who can help us to strengthen our relationship with our Diksha Guru. And if our Shiksha Guru is also not approachable, Diksha Guru is not approachable, then it's not possible. Yes, Diksha Gurus I know sometimes are not approachable because of circumstances. They have so many disciples. Then choose your Shiksha Guru as such who can help you and guide you at every step.
Yes, Mataji, thank you so much. And I have another question too, but I think I'll ask you offline for this question specifically about another devotee. So thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Shivani Mataji is not there. Probably I'll end up the call now. Thank you so much for your wonderful association.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then to substitute.
So we'll stop here. One Chakalpatarubhis Vasim Vaivya Patitana Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Anant Koti Vaishnavebhyo
Hare Krishna Sundari Mataji ki jai.
Jai.